All right, guys. How you doing today? Is usually where I have them? It is. It's usually where I have it. Yeah, we're good. Should put on that angle coming this way, but we're good. First things first, let's turn some things off. Hey guys, howdy doody. It's howdy doody time. It's howdy doody time. So, one thing to another. We're streaming again, aren't we? I will be right back. I do have to go check out something really quick though. It's kind of important. I'll be right back. In 1 second, please.
This is Naomi. She just discovered the sweet sound of earning and saving money on vintage. Thanks to free shipping, even less on this subscription. And by selling some of the clothes that she doesn't wear with zero selling fees, she earned the cash to buy them. Now wear it, sell it. It's Christmas in July. Some kind of joke. And we've got a naughty list. All this month on Tuna TV.
The Bible's book of Genesis. In chapter 6, verse 9, begins the story of Noah and the flood, in which God sends a great deluge to cleanse the earth, which has become overrun by sin. It is one of the most well-known tales from the Bible, but curiously, nearly identical stories exist in dozens of other ancient traditions. We heard about the flood of Noah, which wiped out that whole generation and brought about a new generation of descendants of Noah. The fact is, there's all these stories of the great flood in all countries across the world. Plato talked about Atlantis. He talked about a whole civilization destroyed by floods. Bible, Turkey, Egypt, among Native Americans, there's a story that the Great Flood wrapped around the entire planet. All life was destroyed. The connection between the biblical story of the Great Flood and the destruction of other societies around the world through floods tell us one thing. There actually was a Great Flood. And that at one point in the history of this planet, all life was wiped out. The earth was covered in water. In all mythologies, including the Bible, some gods are coming down and teach the human the great flood will come and destroy you. And this God knew it long before. And they knew it because they themselves made the Great Flood. The Great Flood was created by extraterrestrials on purpose. Could the story of the Great Flood be a historical record of a real event that was brought on by extraterrestrials? But the ancient astronaut theory is correct. And aliens genetically engineered humankind. Why would they then destroy their greatest creation? We have the records as described in the book of Enoch and other literature that the Watchers led to the moral corruption of all humanity, which led to the destruction of the face of the earth. We're introducing hidden technologies centuries before they were meant to be introduced. They corrupted the human gene. In Genesis 6, we hear about the sons of God. They see the daughters of man, and they lust after them, and they come down, and they take them as wives. And then they create a hybrid race called the Nephilim. You weren't supposed to fraternize with the names, but this is what we are told in the Bible. Now, what are we to make of these texts? Are we to say, well, maybe these angels, these sons of God, did they have sex the old-fashioned way? I don't know. But we need to start looking at these stories from the 21st century. Technology we have, genetic engineering, splicing genes.
Oh, sugar balls. Okay, let's go. Hello. How are you?
This hybrid race, and most of these have what we could call superhuman powers. As far as the astronaut theorists are concerned, genetic upgrade occurred. And one that closed the gap between males and females far more quickly than was intended. And it is a story that once again was told across many cultures. The sons of God procreated with the daughters of men, and they still got were born. They had a longer lifespan as well, dating centuries to 1,000 years. And less than much longer than that. When you look back
Look how quick I can go.
history, the figures themselves were said to
I'm
be
not doing that.
Art, God, art, human. This was present in the Greek imagination. The Olympians.
I swear, I never. There we go. Finally disappeared. Okay. I don't know what the hell is going on there.
These are the offspring of demigods. God, that human. But in
Much
many
better.
of the ancient stories,
Oh, my beard's growing in really nice. It really is. I look good for an old fart.
Not to jumpstart human civilization, but creating a new race of humans. Enoch, who's the scribe of God, says that these angels.
Well, it's Saturday night and I ain't got no money.
There was a fire direction. And we weren't ready for those gifts. It's like giving a gun a baby. Nothing good will happen. Maybe the actual person was protecting humanity, and humanity is considered a sacred project. And they know that while they can run it thousands of years ago, it will take thousands or perhaps tens of thousands of years for humanity to reach its ultimate fulfillment. But they were committed ultimately to the sacredness and the fulfillment of the project. As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, the story of Noah and his family being saved from the flood shows that there is they cite a 2,000-year-old text called the Zohar that continues the biblical story of the Watchers after the cataclysm that ended the previous age of humans. The Zohar says that there's a great secret about the angels who walk with us. come back and shepherd us, watch over us, and watch over humanity, and direct the course of our
Not
civilization.
that hot in here. It's actually pretty decent.
I think that
It could be cooler, but it's not bad. I got a fan blowing right here.
theory, we are their offspring. They made us almost they can't give up today. I don't think you would just are a long-term project. If the first human shared the planet with alien visitors, ancient astronauts of the Earth, that these otherworldly beings have been on Earth for thousands of years, continuing to direct the course of humanity. And if humans were designed to ultimately achieve immortality, how would that happen? By examining a strange substance discovered on Easter Island.
There you go. A little less blurry, huh?
Free yourself from fine arts. Ask privately with duck.ai. Visit duck.ai to chat privately. ChatGPT, Claude, and other AIs for free, all in one place. Duck.ai is from DuckDuckGo, where AI is private and optional.
Missions since World War I. And now he's teamed up with a group of rebels fighting the intergalactic war. Because for free, I will not be taking one from the Jim Henson Company. Farscape. Your mission. Watch every episode of Farscape, including
I fucking hate when that happens. I really do.
throughout the galaxy.
It's like a oh my god thing.
Easter Island. Lying over 2,000
I
miles
saw it.
off the coast
There it
of
is.
Germany, this remote landmass is famous for the nearly 1,000 monolithic stone statues called moai found along its coastline. For ancient astronaut theorists, the enormous statues, along with the local legends that say they represent giant beings who came down from the sky, present a compelling case for Easter Island being a place of extraterrestrial visitation. And what has made this notion even more intriguing is the discovery that the island soil contains a substance called rapamycin that might be able to extend the human lifespan. In 1968, a remarkable substance was found, a kind of bacterial substance called rapamycin. Now, it's given that name because it was found on Rapa Nui of Easter Island, which in itself is very interesting.
Every primer is counted for. Oh yeah, baby. Keep on rolling.
Well, they found that it had very strong anti-aging properties. It would almost reverse aging in certain medical situations. Amazing. Has only been shown to extend
My back's already
lifespans
killing. I
through
don't know how long I can handle this. Whoa. Slip it again. Just liking that. Can't have that shit going on.
While there is still much to learn about the effects of rapamycin, scientists are hopeful that it could prove to actually reverse aging on a cellular level. Was it a coincidence that rapamycin was found on Easter Island, where there's possible alien visitations? We don't know. In fact, one question to ask is what do the aliens do if they live very long lives themselves? Do they take certain substances? Could it be that the anti-aging substance found on Easter Island was left behind by alien visitors who used it as a way to extend their lifespan? In numerous ancient traditions, there are stories of the gods possessing elixirs of immortality and sometimes sharing them with humans. There are many ancient cultures that had their own food and drink that could bring immortality. For instance, in
I hate when
China,
it
there
happens.
was the peaches
I
of
really do.
immortality that were given out by the goddess known as the Old Mother of the West. These were given to the
Fell right
immortals
here.
of China
Fuck, dude.
to quite literally allow them to live for eternity. For the Greeks, it's this nectar ambrosia, literally the food of the gods. If you consume that, then you yourself will be divine. In the Vedas, you have this drink, soma, and the same idea that this is what feeds the gods and keeps them alive and immortal. That if we humans eat that food, these substances will keep us alive forever. If these gods were, in fact, alien visitors, could it be that they were able to achieve immortality simply by ingesting some type of plant?
Fuck. I hate when it does that
Some
happens.
ancient astronaut theorists suggest that substances like ambrosia were merely symbolic devices representing the gods' ability to extend their lives. And they believe this was accomplished using the same technology that scientists are developing today, gene splicing. Cambridge, Massachusetts, January 6, 2021. A team of scientists working with a gene manipulating technology known as CRISPR at the Broad Institute of
Oh,
Harvard and MIT makes a groundbreaking
well, I
discovery.
will find you.
By editing specific genes in mice, the researchers were able to double the lifespans of their test subjects. CRISPR, you can think of it like we can cut and sniff out pieces of our DNA. And if
Anybody there? No.
part of our human
Up your butt with rubber coconuts and twice as far with the giant candy bar.
things into the genetic potentially create a human that could live.
Gotta be careful, that's all.
We could rewrite the DNA code. In principle, we can live forever. Already, you've been able to slice and dice that for a mouse, and eventually we'll do it in humans. While it remains to be seen if CRISPR technology will succeed in increasing the human lifespan, the key to mortality may be found by studying a strange sea creature
There we go.
that has the
All right.
ability to live
Yeah,
forever.
I'll keep them from going underneath. And they fall. Because it will happen again. Gosh darn diggly. Dang it. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? I hope so. So this is what the deal is. I do stream my games, but I also have a life outside my gaming. I just don't game. But I do like to share all my aspects of life, what I do other than sleeping and eating. I think it's gross eating online. Some people got fetish for that stuff, and not me. Ew. But or smoking, doing any kind of stuff online. You can hear me cough and maybe smoking little snap, but don't show anything. I'm not stupid. I'm smarter than the average bear. Hey, boo boo. Let's go get some picnic biscuits. Anyway, almost done with this. Look, I'm kicking butt. Been here 20 minutes. Only had 9 on there. Started out 9.
To travel through space. It often seems to me that we live in a time of rediscovery.
put it quickly down under.
Along our lines, extraterrestrials have figured that out long ago. But one scientists are optimistic that the human lifespan can be lengthened to
Got ancient aliens in the background. Looks like you can barely hear it, so there's no copyright infringement. I don't even think they even care on that one. Stock music or anything, so it's not a big deal.
one day colonize other planets. It will require merging.
Look that stuff up.
Always ask how their home smells so good when they walk in. This is like great. What house diffuser? In my home. It uses cold air diffusion, so there's no heat or flame. And it's most expensive.
10 more?
It's the first thing people do the second they walk in my door.
8 more, actually.
Over $209 in retail sales.
How 7?
Order by order.
Ho, ho, ho. 7. Ho, ho, ho. Kidding.
The platform for AI success. These are the millers. They just discovered the sprint sound of earning and earning money on business. Thanks to free shipping, they spent even less on their daughter's toy drums. And by selling some of the clothes you outgrown for 0 fees, they earn the cash to cover it. So we're in sell it.
Unexplained phenomena. Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials? I don't know. Just keep watching. It's unbelievable. Yes. All of this thing exists. Truth. I've gone down a dangerous road. And I have taken an exit. War. Now. Evolution. And now. Washington, D.C. The National Press Club, May 9, 2001. In a press conference organized by a UFO investigative group called the Disclosure Project, former Army Sergeant Clifford Jones made a shocking announcement. He claims to be part of a top-secret military unit once tasked with recovering extraterrestrial craft and their pilots for the U.S. government.
I was involved in situations where we actually did recoveries of crash saucers, for lack of better term, the rooms thereof. There were bodies that were involved with some of these crashes, fell somewhere alive. While we were doing all this, we were telling the American public there was nothing to it. We were telling the world there was nothing to it.
Sergeant Stone would later describe a specific mission in which he learned that the pilot of an extraterrestrial craft was, quote, a biological robot. What we found was that these so-called grey aliens with the skinny bodies, giant heads, were like biological robots. They had few organs, they had all this machinery and computing inside them. And he really questioned what this was all about, and the conclusion was that they must have been created to travel huge distances
Like,
from their
wow, man. Oh, wow, man.
the biological entity simply would not survive. Could it be that Earth is being visited by alien entities that are a machine? Is this why the ancient people referred to the gods as immortals? Because they were not entirely biological beings and appeared to never age. As further support for this notion, ancient astronaut theorists point to a strange figure that appeared in 18th century France, the mysterious Count de Saint-Germain.
Count de Saint-Germain is probably one of the most enigmatic gentlemen of human history. He was an adventurer, he was a scientist, He was a composer. He used several languages, yet strangely, he always was the same owner whenever anybody saw him. One of the most interesting stories about Al was that when he was at a social gathering, he met an old woman, and the old woman said, I met you 60 years ago when I was a young woman, and you look in your 40s then, the same as you do now. He had AIDS. Another thing that people talk about was that he had so much knowledge of history and of science. He knew a lot of the leaders and kings.
Around his reportedly very long life, at Saint-Germain, he befriended many noblemen and rulers who he was believed to have great influence over.
In the mid 1700s, he was a diplomat for King Louis XV. And in the 1760s, he traveled to Russia. He was in the overthrow of Catherine the Great in place, the Tsar of Russia. It was rumored that he later advised the Russians.
Very close. Might be just 50 of them.
Which the Russians also had. He's supposed to have died in 1784, but there were reported sightings of him just the following year, entering into a Masonic law in France, where his name was actually known there and then. He was reportedly at the beheading of Marie Antoinette 30 years later. And there are many other reports of his presence all around the world in the 19th century.
In addition to appearing in historical records, Paul actually was alleged to have died. It was said by many who knew the Count de Saint-Germain that he had odd habits and possessed extraordinary abilities.
One of the strange things about him in his lifetime is he sits with other people as they eat, but he wouldn't eat with them. One of Count Saint Germain's contacts in the 18th century was Casanova, who said he had an ability to know diamonds, that he had amazing abilities and powers. He thought that he was an incredible superhuman type of person.
Hey, how's it going?
Saint Germain had lived.
Let me see who's here.
If he was.
Oh, you haven't typed anything.
Past,
But hello. Thank you for stopping in. I don't know who you are yet. You haven't typed anything yet, so I won't know until you know. If that's you, Dan, hey, or Thunder.
Is it possible that Saint-Germain was an extraterrestrial entity?
I am the blanket guy.
Much like the great
I am a reloader.
Stone claimed to have
This is my reloading area. Pretty cool, eh?
that such a scenario is not so far-fetched, considering that today
Hey,
we
when
are
that
already
happens, did it
creating
work?
robots that are incredibly
I saved my
human-like in
primer.
their appearance. Cutting edge is a Hanson Robotics creation.
There we go.
What's absolutely mind-blowing about Sophia and other robotic entities is it's not hard to imagine this population of creating humanoid robots.
I don't even need to look at it, do I?
Probably even boring. And it makes a lot of sense for us to send robots in space instead of.
Go. Boom. Primer in.
Probably makes sense for extraterrestrials as
The
well.
butt. Powder. Bullet, which is a hollow point. Hollow points.
Extraterrestrial creators.
Crimp. Check it. Make sure it'll fit the gun without any problems. Ready to go. That's it. So instead of loading them in your magazine and everything, that's what this does. It checks it to make sure you're. So I got different. I put those tags on them. Well, I'm glad you stopped in. I wish more people would. If there's anything you want to know about reloading, just ask. Here I am. I can tell you whatever you need to know. Notice I'm not moving my back. I'm only moving my arm. That's it. I got a real hurt back right now. Well, it's always hurting, but more than usual right now. And you try to maintain. Well, and it sucks. It is what it is.
We did meet as strangers, and now I can't picture my life without them.
It's time for one final.
I got one more surprise.
Oh,
Choosing to look everything.
the hell with that?
Located just 4 miles west of the Pentagon, is the headquarters for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, better known as DARPA. Since 2002, DARPA has been investing hundreds of millions of dollars in its brain-machine interface program.
Oh,
so they
there
can
we
help
go.
military.
Much better angle.
Technologies they are developing
No, I'm not
allow humans
leaning over to the side. See?
with mind
There we go.
Brain computer interfaces where we can apply electrodes in the brain.
The pain of it all. Try and get so far before I take this short break.
The chip records
I know you're there,
back.
but I have to go do something that men do occasionally. I don't know who you are, but it's tinkle time. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your understanding. I'm gonna do 3 more and go tinkle. I gotta do one other thing too, but it might take a few more minutes, but it's all right. No more than 3 or 4 minutes.
They must have had at least the level of technology we are enjoying and experiencing.
And also, I need to get out. It's so hot in here. I need to get in there from the air conditioning for a minute, anyways. I'm gonna get really sick. This is why I can't work anymore. I have to be at a certain temperature and everything. It's really weird. Before I start to wind down. I'm just kidding. Yeah, get all overheated. Don't need that shit. That's why I'm not wearing my hat here. It's too hot in here right now. Wintertime, that's another story. I'll be hooping it because it's cold. I can move fast in the cold. I can't move fast in the heat. Gives me heat stroke and shit. Yeah, it really does. Just listen to some ancient aliens and I'll be right back. Okay? We're gonna go tinkle. Show you how far I am right now. How far I am.
When they want to travel the stars.
I'll be right back. It's out of soda too. I need to pour soda in here. There's the other excuse. I'll be right back. Oh, my back.
To having many manifestations of himself as other gods. He would come to our reality as a different God. He came to earth many different times with different people and had adventures and activities, and then he would go back into the heavens as vision. The alien can be avatar. They can withstand all the rigors of outer space because they are part biological and part mechanical, but controlled by an alien consciousness in a different star system. While the notion of a conscious being that can move from one body to another may sound far-fetched, humankind is working towards realizing this technology right now by attempting to map the human brain. Full brain emulation is the ability to create a carbon copy of the brain itself. Already, by slicing and dicing the brain of a fruit fly, we've been able to catalog all the connections of a fruit fly's brain up to 100,000 neurons. Think about that. Every single connection of the brain of a fruit fly mapped using computers by slicing and dicing the brain. Now, the human brain is much more complicated. 100 billion neurons, with each neuron connected to 10,000 other neurons. But in principle, that's also possible to create an exact copy of the brain to map every single neuron of the brain using transistors rather than neurons. And it would, in principle, be identical to who you are. It would have access to all your memories, all your dreams, all your foibles, all your mannerisms. It'll take, of course, decades to give you that kind of accuracy, but it is doable. One scientist can completely replicate a human brain through whole brain emulation. Then that information can be uploaded to a computer to digitally represent a person's consciousness. Could it be that extraterrestrials who already possess this capability have come to Earth by uploading their consciousness into artificial bodies? Now, who say not only is this possible, but that this is how humans will eventually leave the planet and travel the stars. Fired up for Forged. Oh yeah! With historic challenges, you'll be making biggest con sword. If you cut corners, you'll end up broke. It's always a gamble of Forged Empire. Forged in fire. Things I'm addicted to is Gabby, crack, and heroin. The only thing part of the fighting addiction is fighting codependency at the same time.
They both need help or they're going to die.
And that brings us together and it breaks us apart. Move forward!
Listen, Maddie. Why are you lying to me? Oh, get out! I'm done. I'm done. Let's get away from here now.
Intervention. Now on demand. Ventura! Yes, Satan. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You sounded like someone else. Pluto TV goes wild with two Ace Ventura adventures now on demand.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough, Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura. Catch the first two classic movies now on demand on Pluto TV. Get all things soccer all the time with CBS Sports Velocity, bringing the beautiful game to you. Look at the position cushion forward with live matches across the globe. All the big soccer news stateside and around the world. Gonna bring me to the A guys.
We are joined by Harry Kane.
So you see the highlights you missed or need to see again. Like soccer is everything. Then the Colossal Network is the destination for you. Streaming free 24/7. Boca Chica, Texas, August 27th, 2019. SpaceX announces the successful test flight of its Starship prototype, Starhopper. The founder of the private aerospace company, billionaire Elon Musk, has also been at the forefront of efforts to upgrade humankind. It is his belief that both pursuits are critical to ensuring the survival of the human race. It's interesting, even map our own consciousness and depend on a robot. And they're wanting to go into space at the same time. So in many ways, they're like the alien explorers who came here in the past. I think with known technologies, we can theorize that is within 100, within 200 years, we're talking about fusion rockets and antimatter rockets capable of reaching the stars. And then I think we'll be sending robots into outer space that are actually avatars. I personally think this is the future of the space program. And I think we will do this using laser beams.
If we can digitize the human brain, we can put that knowledge on a laser beam and shoot it to the moon. In 1 second, you were on the moon. In 20 minutes, you could be on Mars. In 7 years, at the speed of light, you could reach the nearby stars. And what can you do? If that laser beam goes to the moon, you stay downloaded into an
Hello. Jolly good day. Hey, you stuck around. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, well. Well, thanks for stopping by and leaving. Well, I said I'd be back in a minute. It's okay, I'm here. Because it's not unusual for me to love somebody. Let's get her done. Let's get her done.
So I think when people get into outer space, you should not be surprised if they're actually avatars that are controlled by the aliens in a distant star system.
As entrepreneurs continue to invest billions in pursuit of both space travel and whole brain emulation, are we getting closer to become like the immortals?
Shit, titty, ball sweat, dick, fit, fuck parts. Oh, yeah.
Creation
Drive.
is here. So this technology is exactly what they did to humankind all along. Why would extraterrestrials come to Earth and start a human project knowing what would take thousands of years for us to develop? Well, it could perhaps be that extraterrestrials different we do. If we think of the extraterrestrials as immortal, time is irrelevant. And their goal is to assist humanity to become more like them. There's a potential that humanity is going to become a star-bearing nation that has long life because you're going to need that for some of these long journeys. We might be more like the gods that lived for thousands of years and traveled the heavens. Is humanity on the verge of becoming an intergalactic civilization? And if so, is it possible that we were set on this path by an extraterrestrial race visited Earth thousands of years ago? Perhaps one day, the immortal gods, seen descending from the sky on a distant planet, will be us. For more than 3,000 years, Ireland has maintained a connection to ancient magic and the mystical realm. We have two parallel worlds, the human world and the other world. The rolling landscape is believed to possess hidden powers.
It is said that the map takes us in a doorway into outer reality.
And within these urban mountains are said to be hiding beings known as the Shining Ones. They are somehow able to manipulate their surroundings and have knowledge of life. Irish legends, more than fanciful mythology. And if so, could there be an extraterrestrial connection? The ancient Irish were saying that these beings came from the sky. There is a doorway in the universe. Beyond it is the promise of truth. It's in we question everything we have ever been taught. The evidence is all around us. The future is right before our eyes. We are not alone. We have never been alone. Ireland. This lush green island in the North Atlantic has a history of human activity dating back more than 33,000 years. Numerous cultures have called Ireland home, from the early Beaker people to the Celts and the Gaels, and the island rich tradition of folklore that is spread throughout the world. But perhaps most notable is that Ireland boasts some of the oldest structures on the planet. Massive earthen mounds which date back more than 5,000 years.
These mounds are constructed, they're not natural. These are megalithic constructions involving in the work, right? And the enormous amount of manpower and labor. These would have been, when they were made, very, very impressive sites.
These mountains were an ancient earthwork that had a tunnel going through it with stones on each side and covered with earth.
Ireland has a tremendous amount of these mountains. And these are some of mankind's oldest large structures in the world. They aggregate all of the land together. Usually if you visit one on top of the hill, you go up to find one, you do a line to the next one. There is a network all across the entire island of these sites.
The oldest known writing in Ireland dates to the 6th century AD. More than 3,000 years after the ancient mounds are believed to have been built. With no written record about the mound's construction, archaeologists and historians can only speculate as to who made them and for what purpose.
They say it will go inside, where presumably very, very important rituals took place. You don't know, but much later on, these sites would have been used for galleries, for rituals, sort of keeping the society together. These were enormously long-lived sites. Important. Long-lived societies use these as folk.
30 miles north of Dublin, in County Meath, is Ireland's largest and oldest mound, called Newgrange. The ancient structure consists of over 200,000 tons of stone and has a passageway leading to a central chamber in which human bone fragments have been found. But archaeologists say Newgrange also has an undeniable connection to the cosmos. Spiral petroglyphs, thought to symbolize the universe, are found all around them, and the passageway and chamber form a cruciform shape that researchers believe is based on the constellation Cygnus.
Time Newgrange was built is presumed to be the largest structure that mankind had ever built. Now, one of the most interesting things about Newgrange is its celestial light. It's still very, very popular. If you go to the winter solstice, you get this sun dagger and tremendous distance all the way to brighten up the universe.
Newgrange is unique among Ireland's mounds in its sophistication and was clearly designed for ritualistic activity. But according to ancient Irish texts, the mounds serve a more profound and mysterious purpose as the dwelling places of otherworldly beings traditionally called the Sheen.
The word she is to name the mountains and also to name the other world's people of the mountains. In Irish tradition, it's bad luck to use the word she to directly refer to these other world people. But there are many different names. We have the English word fairy folk, also elves.
Stories of fairies, and even leprechauns are rooted in the ancient folklore of what the Irish called the Sheen. But for many Irish people, the Sheen
Dang, leprechauns.
are mythological figures.
Leprechauns and all that sort of stuff. The Chilean people kind of laugh and all those things. It's knowledge that's been passed down for thousands and thousands of years. We have the terrestrial world and the sub-terrestrial world, the human world, and the superhuman or other world. World is the distant world. Occasionally, however, there is communication between the two worlds.
Are often referred to as fairy forts, as are stone circles and tree clusters that are considered the property of the Sheen. There's a strong cultural belief that these features are made of otherworldly beings and kept them intact for thousands of years. And the Irish say that when they are disturbed, bad luck always follows.
Those are Winchester.
Sean Flynn was the luckiest man in ever. He lost everything because he married a fairy folk. That was fairy folk, and he moved it to another place. DeLorean car man. They came to Belfast and they were making the DeLorean car up in Northern Ireland. They put the factory on the site of fairy folk.
to the light of day. My back was killing me so bad. I'm almost want to take another, but I can't. Dang it.
I would have to go to Fairy Street. You get me 10 million bucks and a Cadillac and a helicopter and a beautiful house. So what's the blues man? So all I have to do is chop down a fairy tree. I'll be handing that money to go back to you. Wouldn't do it. No one I know would do it either. So do you believe in fairies in Ireland? We do. Well, modern day representations of fairies often depict benevolent, sprightly creatures. Traditional Irish notions of fairies are much different. They are considered powerful and sometimes dangerous beings. We don't want to mess with the Ishi. They're not cute, cuddly little fairies we typically think of today. These are very extraordinarily powerful people, rulers of supernatural powers. The Shi, or fairy folk, are often referred to as the Shining Ones, but two accounts of their luminous appearance suggest that they are divine beings. According to the ancient Irish stories, while the fairies have supernatural abilities, they are not immortal gods. The appearance of the Shi is not necessarily mortal. Sometimes they're killed or meet with death, but they never grow old. And so if they are killed or die, they survive young.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna leave this running, but I'm gonna take 5 minutes just because I'm done. I gotta stop sweating. Burning. Yeah, that's what it is. That's right. It's hot out here. It really is. Inhumane conditions
Otherworldly beings.
for an old man like myself. Of course. So, what do you think of the beard? It's coming in pretty good, huh? Oh, it looks sexy. Yeah. Anyways, maybe one day I'll find a girlfriend again. Really haven't been looking, to tell you the truth. Trying to get my streamer career up. That will come after. I'll get some stalker streamer or stalker of my streamer. I'll end up with one of those. But I love you. I'll cut my ears off for you. Kidding. Anyway, got 5 to go, man. In this batch. Try that again. There we go.
This is Naomi. She just discovered the sweet sound of burning and saving money on vintage. Thanks to free streaming, she's set up with the best price luxury. And by selling some of the clothes that she doesn't wear, with 0 selling fees, she earns a tax profit. Don't wear it? Sell it.
Moldy? Moldier? You're losing that shit, huh?
John Crichton's mission sends him to World War I. And now he's teamed up with a group of students fighting an intergalactic war. You guys are free. I will not be taking line. From the Jim Henson Company. Farscape. Your mission. Watch every episode of Farscape, including the Peacekeeper Group, streaming in HD and broadcasting
Cool.
throughout the galaxy. Calm down, that dangerous now.
I have to accept the truth, but I may never get back to you. It doesn't mean I have to stop trying. That's all I've ever wanted. But when the piece does
What? That makes it okay. What?
In Ireland, tales of the sheep, or fairy tales, have been passed down orally for more than 3,000 years. And in the 11th century, many of these stories were documented in a text called the Book of Invasions. According to this medieval account of Irish history and law, thousands of years ago, a godlike race of
Oh God.
the two
Oh. So
started on a
these
mountaintop
little
in
Spencer little fuckers.
often
Primers.
referred to as the Shining Ones. They are the ancestors of the sheep. All of our stories relate back to two development. For 3,000 years at least, if not more, before that, all the stories
Really, dude?
are all related to two hit dance. They were the Shinings.
There is a description in the mythological material in the early Irish literature of the two Danan arriving in
Fuck.
cloud ships, arriving in dark clouds, and landing on a mountain.
There's a long poem about the arrival of the Tuatha De Danann. One of the lines says, "The truth was not known beneath the sky of stars, whether they were of heaven or of earth."
The Tuatha De Danann are not human. They're demigods, and not immortal, not infallible, and not like the gods of a monotheistic tradition of any of the Abrahamic religions. The Tuatha De Danann were said to be luminous beings of large stature who wielded magical powers. The Tuatha De Danann had an arsenal of very technological sounding weaponry. Lou of the Long Arm, for example, possessed a spear that when you threw it, you could give a voice command and it would automatically hit whatever target. And he'd give another voice command and the spear would mysteriously return to him. We have circles of light that they use to travel around Ireland upon. We have another chieftain named Nuada who lost an arm in a battle against the giant, and they were able to replace his arm. The Tuatha De Danann were said to have a
It only took me fucking. So good. I can rush it.
ability and spears. And
I am gonna take a break though.
ancient astronaut theory tries to look at
Maybe I'll do tomorrow morning. I gotta set it up though.
Then one has to wonder where did that technology come from?
There's no way that's
There's
50.
only one answer.
But we're gonna do a guesstimation right now.
So ancient astronaut theory.
You
Another intriguing aspect of these stories is
Got
that
it, so
some of them to account for gods found in
for the
other
hell of it.
ancient cultures.
Alright, see where we're at.
The story of Cornelius descending from clouds on tops of mountains are straight across the cultural history of human beings. Let's look at one of the earliest ones. It depends on how women in the golden. That's what Nephilim did.
Okay.
They came from clouds. We have other stories in Tibet and other places. He's gone coming down. On top of a mountain, the gods of Olympus in Greece as another example. The stories that's what's known in these world found is something that we find in connection with deities in other parts of the world. For instance, across the Middle East, there is the concept of jinn. These are supernatural beings, very often associated with fire and light, that can appear in worlds and manifest in the physical form. The fact that we have stories that are just still identical leads me to think that perhaps all these ancient cultures were visited by the same extraterrestrials. According to Alcapius, the tradition that was most similar to the Tuatha is that of the Anunnaki, the sky gods described by the Sumerians, humankind's earliest known civilization. The gods of the Sumerians used the beginnings of civilization people living together, but also using the writing. Some of the earliest written texts we have are texts by
I'll be back in a minute. Nobody here anyways.
3,000 years old at more.
Oh,
And they tell of the arrival of the goddess, the Anunnaki, the pantheon of gods. The chief was Anu. This means the sky god came along and created his own. The term Anunnaki means those who from the heavens came, and it refers to beings descending from the sky, imparting knowledge.
In the Irish stories, the Tuatha De Danann were also responsible for imparting knowledge to the ancient people.
The two Danann were the masters of all the crafts, and masters of all of the arts. And they introduced the knowledge and the ways of agriculture. Two Danann would always interact with people. It's the same as the Anunnaki.
Ancient astronaut theorists suggest the iconography of the Sumerians and Irish provides additional evidence that they encountered the same otherworldly beings. Both depicted the gods as being of giant stature compared to humans. Both portrayed them in scenes with hybrid or flying animals. And both had images of the gods with horns or antlers emerging from their heads. But perhaps most intriguing of all is that there appears to be a linguistic connection between the Anunnaki and the Tuatha De Danann. According to some accounts, the Tuatha De Danann's original name was the Tuatha Anu, the tribe of Anu, or Adani. Linguists are very intrigued by this because this encodes the name of Anu, the high god of the Anunnaki for whom they are formed. And it suggests that perhaps the Tuatha De Danann are the descendants of the Anunnaki. Could the striking similarities that exist between the stories of the Tuatha De Danann and the Anunnaki reveal that Ireland was visited by the same otherworldly beings that are described by humanity's first known civilization roughly 3,000 miles away? But if so, how are they connected to Ireland's mound dwellers, known as the Sidhe or fairy folk? Perhaps further clues can be found by examining mysterious ancient priests called the Druids.
There is a veil between this world and fairy.
That inside mythology.
If the fairies did, they were going through.
There's no margin for error. It's likely death up here.
This thing alone can open up the door to a bunch of opportunities for Muskie Creek.
Untrue trucker. That had been one thing. Give me the deal. I had to initiate emergency evacuation.
Clear skies with the chance of satellite debris. Now we're just driving. Let's go home. Summer doesn't begin until the house guests move in. A new season of Big Brother Live Feast is streaming on Pluto TV. On both Big Brother and Enlight, remember to expect the unexpected. Betrayals, backstabs, and blindsides. Watch what the house guests are up to 24/7, live and unfiltered, with the Big Brother Live Feast on Pluto TV.
Let's get down to business to see who wants to work. This is really a front for the CIA. The agency can't stand it in Navy SEALs. They hire us.
It's not easy being a friend.
1988. During an excavation of an Iron Age burial site, archaeologists uncovered the skeleton of a man who lived around the 3rd century BC and who was wearing a unique headdress. Based on the design of this bronze crown, many researchers believe these are the first remains ever discovered of a druid. According to Irish legend, The Druids were a class of ancient Celtic priests who were in close contact with the Shining Ones, the Tuatha De Danann.
The word for druid in Irish is driocht, which literally means magic. So there is an interconnection between the Tuatha De Danann and their magic and the practice of druidry.
Danann have been the founders of Druidism, and the Druids were said to have all kinds of special powers themselves. So it would seem that the Tuatha De Danann had shown some of their extraterrestrial technology to the Druids, who then were able to use it themselves. The Druidic religion originated with the Tuatha De Danann, but they were never allowed to write down any of the Druidic knowledge. It was taboo because it was so-called sacred knowledge. The Druids spent decades in training to perform their priestly functions. These are refers ultimately to the innermost knowledge of the Tuatha De Danann, the Shining Ones. They know their secrets and they can wield their technology. Portrayals of Druids as mysterious, shaman-like figures with mystical powers has led some scholars to question if they truly existed or were purely mythological figures. But according to the earliest accounts of them, the Druids were an integral part of Celtic society throughout the British Isles. There are certain things we know about the Druids, but of course there's a lot we don't know. And this vacuum incited a lot of romantic speculation in the 19th century. And so we're still carrying that baggage a little bit, swirling robes and so on. In Celtic society, in Gaelic society, the Druids exercised authority and played an important role in the life of the tribe and the society. The Druids were the holders of knowledge. They held and perpetuated the knowledge which was important to the survival of the tribe. They held, perpetuated judiciary knowledge as things sacred and spiritual.
The Druid was a very special figure, a priest perhaps, a historian perhaps, a magician perhaps, and many, many things. These were the learned people of Celtic society. They formed a special class. For the Caesar, the Druids in Gaul had to stay 20 years to become a Druid. And they had many. And so Druidism and the magic that they were able to employ is really a foundational part of really Celtic society. Druids are not necessarily men. We also have a lot of accounts of female druidry, and it does seem to be associated heavily with the Tuatha De Danann.
They didn't just teach things like astronomy, harmony in nature. They were working with geomancy, the placement of ancient sites across the landscape called geodesy, and also working with earth energies and even plant medicines. So they had a high understanding of these different arts and sciences. The Druids were known to travel far and wide, seeking out the knowledge of other cultures. But they were also said to interact directly with the Tuatha De Danann, who shared the secrets of their so-called magical abilities. Pliny the Elder, who was one of the most famous of the Roman writers and historians, he claimed that at a full moon, Druids would meet at a mound and they would trace a design that looked something like a dragon on top of the mound. And this would summon some sort of lightning or some phenomena that happened in the sky. And then he saw it himself. He was taking what he knew from Roman soldiers that witnessed it, but apparently it frightened a lot of them. They saw lights in the sky once the Druids did this dragon ritual, as it became known. So it would seem that the Druids knew of the power of certain special places. And perhaps this is something that would summon the Tuatha De Danann, these shining people who came from the sky. One of the many magical powers the Druids were said to possess was the ability to levitate massive stones, which they used to construct some of the megalithic structures found throughout the British Isles.
The most famous of the Druids, of course, was Merlin. Merlin was said to have created Stonehenge by taking an existing stone circle from Ireland and bringing it to Salisbury Plain in southern England. There, using magic powers, he was able to raise the stones into position in the manner that we see them today.
What is interesting is that the stones that built Stonehenge did come from a long way away, about 135 miles away in South Wales. Some of that moved to central England. And the ancients believed it was Merlin who was responsible for it.
Hello.
They, some of
Hey, how's it going? Looks like I got somebody to join me. How you doing? I'm back. See if somebody typed anything. Nope. I'm the only one who typed something. Thank you for stopping in, though. Let's get back to work.
Just by words. There has to be some type of technology behind it.
Neat drinky.
The idea is that basically this was extraterrestrial knowledge imparted by.
It's like night and day. In here, it's like 85 degrees, and then beyond that door right there, it's 68. Crazy. All right, let's do this. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, though. Checking out some reloading. Reload. So what I'm probably going to do is probably start off my 38 specials, not just start a couple, but I'll come in the morning to them or tomorrow night.
Us in here is something guiding us to the future. Dr. Carey, 1700 BC. A fleet of ships arrived on the southern shores of Ireland, carrying invaders from the south.
I wasn't going to do this.
According to early Irish
I
accounts,
was only going to do 100 instead of 150, but it's a few more minutes of shooting. It is what it is.
was the English for his
More brass to clean and
of the two invaders.
These were the sons of
pick up off the ground.
known as the Philistines. The Philistines came out of the Mediterranean, probably from Greece or Crete or Anatolia, modern day Turkey, and they arrived in Ireland. And huge battles took place between the Tuatha De Danann and the Milesians.
How close it's going to be. It looks pretty close. Probably over now.
To say the beloved Ireland is not only warfare. It came to heal the earth, to work with the earth, work with Mother Earth, and all of the good energies. All agreed upon.
It's already hot in here.
It can be shared forever.
And it was a threat that the Milesians would live on the ground on the south, but that the Tuatha De Danann would go beneath the earth inside mounds of earth that were known as sheaves. This acted as the doorways into the realm where after the Tuatha De Danann would live.
Let's say that they all turned sideways into the light, just disappeared underground. The Milesians then took control of the circuit of Ireland. Modern day Irish people are thought to be descendants of the Milesians. Legend states
Yeah.
after the two began,
Sit and watch, not say anything, huh? That's okay. No big deal. It is what it is.
They evolved over many years into something known as the E.M.F. Better known in native mythology as the Elfin elves.
It'd be funny if it was you, Casey Jean Jenkins. That would be funny.
That could appear in physical form, but could equally vanish. Humans were able to interact with them often when they would see some kind of light that would be emanating from these earthen mounds.
We were good for each other too, I swear.
When they were looking to these
I
lights,
fucked up, but
they could
I should have got
see
another
the
chance.
rust and
But it's
iron
okay.
sheet of bearing. People
I'm living a happy
joined
life now.
in this realm. Reports of elves,
Ah,
fairies,
well, kind of I am.
little people.
Now that I'm a streamer, a full-time streamer. That's what I am. That's right. Go to F Like a Guy 56 on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I'm tired. Can you tell?
Was a gift from the coming ones. The Leah Fail means the stone of destiny, and it refers to a standard about 5 feet tall in density.
In the fall, we have the two again bringing the energy of this stone down with them to this powerful place, this place of extraordinary energy and current, because it can interact with the energy in the land. The power of the land itself is the reason that they can come to this location they have Tara. The rightful king of Ireland came in contact with Leothal. It would scream out to announce that this was the rightful king of Ireland. It would then imbue the king with qualities of strength and longevity, in order that he might reign over Ireland for a very long time. To this day, ceremonies take place on the Hill of Tara.
The ancient Irish associated this stone with the elven folk and the fairies. And people continue to see them today. Possibly, we will continue to see them in the future as well. The otherworldly beings called the Tuatha truly existed in ancient Ireland. Is it possible that they are still present today? Now known as the sheep or Leith, who inhabit the thousands of earthen mounds found throughout the country. Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and suggest that they may occupy a parallel dimension.
A parallel dimension. A parallel dimension. Anyways, hi. I don't know who you are, whatever, but hey, whatever. Wow, that's crazy. Rise of the Beast. Yeah, put some in there, that little kid. Huh, maybe not. I don't know, we'll see. It's pretty close, I'm pretty close on that though.
It's really motion.
in one place. What? Oh, reality, what we did. Organizations exist throughout the world that investigate potential encounters with extraterrestrials visiting Earth. But long before these groups existed, the people of the British Isles were examining another type of otherworldly phenomenon.
Phenomena. Dun, 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 dun. Phenomena. Dun, 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 dun. Phenomena. Dun, 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 dun. Phenomena.
Very scientific and serious
What
approach.
took a very time today? Serious way I was showing big. Never mind. It's already been an hour and a half. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's hot. So I'm gonna finish this up. Set up the 38th and do them tomorrow, but yeah.
People from walks of life contacted the organization, reporting encounters with beings they believe were aliens. Witnesses described theories leading them to buried relics, walking through solid walls, and even transforming into forms of life. This society important research up until World War II. Their records were destroyed. And then in 1949, they began doing research again. Hundreds of members joined the society in the 1950s, including Walt Disney. Now, what's amazing about this is that in order to become a member of the society, you had to declare an absolute belief in the existence of fairies. And who other than Walt Disney in the modern world is more closely connected to fairies? The idea that you would actually have a very serious society that was looking into fairies shows that in the British Isles and environment, the whole concept of elven folk and fairies and leprechauns is very real and continues to this day. In 1969, French astronomer Jacques Vallée published a groundbreaking book on unexplained phenomena called Passport Newtonian, folklore to flying saucers. In it, he proposed that historical accounts of fairies and other strange beings could be the same phenomenon that today is interpreted as extraterrestrial.
Phenomenal.
Jacques did what I think is one of the
E.T. phone home.
about the UFO phenomenon, trying to
It's gonna be
understand
close.
and all the renowned true history that has been painted, photographed, caught on radar. What are they and why are they?
Peace and love. That's what we're all about. Peace and love.
The leprechauns, or the fairies, or ancient.
I think it's gonna make it. Oh, there's one or two left over. One or two left over that didn't have to throw in, probably. I have a little thing I do with myself when I throw things in here. I try to eyeball it, see if that 100 is that 100. This is what's left. This is what's left in here. It's gonna be close. I don't know.
The strange things that humans have reported encountering for thousands of years may
It looks like there's gonna be enough, to tell you the truth. I don't know. Yeah, there is.
that from the time of the Big Bang, it created one universe, or could it create a multitude of universes? Might there be connections between the different universes where elements from the other universe cross into our universe, and where elements in our universe cross into theirs? That would explain how people
It's on my bags
on
too
the
tomorrow.
machine might not just see an underground civilization, but they might see an interdimensional civilization. Could it be that sightings of fairies and similar figures described in other ancient traditions are encounters with beings that occupy parallel dimensions? And if so, are they beings
seem to be similar to UFO accounts. For example, seeing strange lights, like what's known as the Irish and British tradition, the will o' the wisp, and these fairy lights that move and lead people astray.
You get to the 20th century, where people were trying to figure out human abduction, you start hearing from people saying, well, they shape-shifted in front of me, there were beams of light that took it up and down, they can disappear, they can go through windows, walls, and those are the same verbs and nouns that were being used in the centuries before in Ireland and other places about fairies and so-called pretend creatures.
There are stories and personal experiences similar to UFO accounts that have been recorded of in time where somebody is taken into the other world
It's okay.
like fairies, and I think they've been there for a few hours, but it's been a few days when they return.
Oftentimes, you hear stories of missing time, people disappearing for weeks or losing their memories for significant events. And frankly, that is similar to what you hear from modern day UFO abduction stories. Could it be that the folklore culture all around the globe is based on an otherworldly presence that people have been encountering since humankind's earliest history? Ancient astronaut theorists would say yes. And according to the Irish, at least one year, the veil was lifted between our realm and theirs.
What the fuck is this?
I've gone down a dangerous road. You might have taken the world to miss me.
I have to accept the truth that I never get back to him. It doesn't mean I have to stop trying. That's all I've ever wanted. To put the pieces back together and return to my family.
War, E.M.F, revolution, somehow casual. John Crichton's mission sends him through a wormhole. And now he's teamed up with rebels fighting an intergalactic war. Because you're free, I will not be taken alive.
Oh, that's strong.
Farscape, your mission. Watch every episode of Farscape, including the Peacekeeper, streaming in HD and broadcasting throughout the galaxy. Unexplained phenomena. Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
Mulder?
Sky.
Where are they?
I don't know. Just keep watching. It's unbelievable. The X-Files. I'm sorry, sir. You sounded like someone else. TV goes wild with two East Ventura adventures.
You really love it.
Jim Jerry is Ace Ventura. Catch the
Put 7 more in. And it's funny, if I didn't do that last little bit, it would have been perfect. It's okay. Better be safe than sorry. Alright, there we go.
Located 60 miles west of Dublin. Its site has been sacred to the Irish for centuries. Here in early May, locals gather at this sacred site to celebrate the ancient festival of E.M.F. Dating back more than 3,000 years, the E.M.F and its famous bonfire, the Rock of Death, in mind Christian Ireland and its leader, the Reformers.
The festival is the traditional start of summer. The Celtic peoples divided the year into Wicca and the Bright Mark at the Elfmas.
People understood the site end of the year. Agricultural is dating from the 80s, but we have the knowledge of astronomy and the fire was the same. of the fire from the highest point of ocean.
Oh god. Oh shit.
It's what the hills on like air fires. And it raised the open. Instantly. All the country had now. But the Alpina, which is also celebrated, on our island, serves a more profound purpose. Many Irish believe that during this festival,
Oh,
it is possible for humans to peer inside the mounds.
There's a threshold or boundary between worlds that becomes thin, and human beings can see into the other world or encounter otherworldly beings more easily. The Alternate or May Day is associated very strongly with the She, the fairy people, the shining ones.
Through festivals like the Alpina, the people of Ireland maintain a strong connection to the traditions of their past.
ow man.
Of the
Okay.
shining beings who came down from the sky and continue to live on in ancient mounds.
When I was growing up in Ireland, people, at least in the rural areas in Ireland, maybe at the time, nobody would admit to not believing in the fairies. The existence of the fairy folk was not questioned.
This idea that Ireland has had this love affair with leprechauns and fairy folk, I would ask the question, well, what is the underlying root of this? Because stories of fairy folk go back at least 3,000 years in Ireland. In the case of the Tuatha De Danann, it's even earlier. It's that what we have here is one of the earliest examples of ancient astronaut teachers. You reach a certain age and they know that it's not what they're needing. Just that this is the way it is. So, do we believe in fairies and leprechauns and arrows? Absolutely, 100%. Is it possible that beneath the idyllic rolling countryside of Ireland, there are entrances or a hidden realm that has been inhabited by otherworldly beings for more than 3,000 years? Could they be the descendants of extraterrestrials who were responsible for the creation of the human race? Perhaps the whimsical legends of Ireland are not so whimsical after all, but contain profound truths about an alien presence on Earth that is still with us today. A mystical Jewish tradition that speaks of underground realms inhabited by strange creatures. It is believed and taught that we are not alone as intelligent beings on our own Earth. A Buddhist legend that tells of a lost nation surviving in vast underground canyon. Shambhala is a secret city underground, ruled by kings who lived for hundreds of years. Of human life beneath the earth. Local residents describe seeing reptilian-type humanoid beings inside this cave. Could it be that other intelligent beings exist right here on our own planet? Someone may be hidden underneath the surface of the earth. And what if these entities have been here for thousands of years? There is a doorway in the universe. Beyond it is the promise of truth. It demands we question everything we have ever been taught. The evidence is all around us. It's right before our eyes. We are not alone. We have never been alone. Iran, Israel. This mountain village in Upper Galilee is home to a sacred cave that is the second most visited Jewish site in the world after the Western Wall, with as many as 2 million annual visitors. According to Hebrew tradition, this cave served as the hall of the famous rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the 2nd century A.D. under the rule of the Roman Empire. Rabbi Shimon Yochai lived in a very difficult time for the Jewish people living in the kingdom of Israel. The Emperor Hadrian had been violently persecuting the Jews. They forbade them from studying the Torah, forbade them under penalty of death from even initiating new students in Bar Yochai was one who spoke out against the emperor.
Oh,
This caused the Romans to brand him a criminal. Rabbi Yochai fled to northern Israel into the Galilee, where he hid in a cave for as long as 13 years. When he was concealed in the cave, he received a tremendous amount of profound sacred wisdom, secrets that were revealed to him in the cave. None less than more himself, Elijah. If Rabbi Bar Yochai truly encountered the prophet Elijah as he claims, it would be a miracle. Because Elijah lived in Judea
whatever.
almost 1,000 years earlier. According to Jewish tradition, Elijah never died. So he appears and enlightens people, he helps people who are in trouble. So Rabbi Shimon was a community killer. He was Rabbi understood the teachings he received from his immortal messenger to be of great importance, but also felt that they could only be shared with a trusted community and not yet revealed to the public. Now he came out of the cave after the enemies forgot about him. He gathered together his students and he told them the secrets that were revealed to him in the cave. Knowledge was written or transmitted orally for centuries, for 1,000 years, until a Spanish rabbi acquired this knowledge that he then shared with humankind. In the late 13th century, the secret writings of Shimon Bar Yochai were finally published as the Zohar, a text that is still held as sacred by millions of people around the world.
Okay. Bada bing, bada boom, done.
To the Jewish tradition of Kabbalah. People often confuse Kabbalah and Zohar. There's no book called the Kabbalah. The Zohar is the next text of the Kabbalah. So if someone says they're studying Kabbalah, they probably mean that they're studying the Zohar. According to practitioners of Kabbalah, the teachings included ancient knowledge that was far ahead of its time, such as information related to modern atomic theory, the spherical shape of the Earth.
Okay, 38 special now.
But of all the teachings of Kabbalah, thankfully the most
Huh, still got, you're still out there, huh? Well, thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate the hours. It helps. Why does that look like 357?
That there are multiple
That's 38.
In fact, there are 7. They give the name of each of them. And when I hear that, then I wonder, oh, could it be possible that what we have here is a reference that there are 6 other inhabited planets in the rest of our galaxy? When you look at these Kabbalistic texts, and they're talking about there being 6 other Earths besides the one we were. And they're not just some Kabbalists talking about, 7 continents, something like that.
Fuck.
You have to ask yourself, is it possible?
Get the hell out of here. Stupid thing. There we go. So.
7 planets. According to those who study Kabbalah, this concept has another, even more profound meaning. Many people have this idea that the concept of heaven and earth has something to do with
Good. So let's start.
and in
Okay.
fact, according to Zoharic literature, inside the earth. There are 7 lands, one above the other. One of the lands is actually the outer Earth, which is the one that we're walking on. According to Zohar, as well as Jewish religious interpretation, the 6 other Earths are physical locations that are subterranean to our present reality. Even more compelling is that it also teaches that each of the 6 other Earths are inhabited by intelligent creatures. There could be this multiplicity of beings. They exist in other. They're always hidden in inner Earth. One of the profound teachings of the oral Torah tradition is that human beings are not the only intelligent species indigenous.
Well, it's time. I got it set up. 38 specials now. Went from 9 to 38 specials.
Of course, the nature of our Earth is
Probably could get it done, but it's another hour. I'm tired. It's 1 in the morning. It's been 2 hours. So, and I've already been streaming for another 5, 6, 7, 8 hours on there. So altogether 10 hours. Yeah, I'm done. Can do a couple more. That's all. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Whoever you are, you have a wonderful night. Whoever you are, you might be somebody who hates me and just looking at me with a grin for all I know.
somebody is down there.
Huh. That's it. One more.
That Earth is home to other intelligent beings that exist.
All right, it started.
How long have they been on this planet? The teachings of the Roma. Some of the beings
All right.
of inner Earth once lived on the surface.
Hasta la vista.
Long before the sun.
See you guys later. Thank you for coming by. That's what you're hearing in the background there. Yeah. Bye. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new.